Hey guys, it's Andrew with AndroidCentral.com, and we've got our hands on the Huawei Ascend P6. This is the latest super slim, super high-end flagship phone from Huawei, and although it was announced officially back in June, the middle of June, we finally got our hands on one to take a look. No, we've just unboxed everything and started to set up our accounts and stuff on the software side, but we wanted to give you a look through the hardware because it's actually quite impressive at first glance here. So Huawei made a big deal about this device being 6.18 millimeters thick, which as you can see here is pretty ridiculously thick is the wrong word. Thin is a little more appropriate. I have the Nexus 4 here just for comparison, and it makes the Nexus 4 look downright chunky actually by comparison, and the HTC One, when you factor in the bulge there, looks quite chunky as well. Now, a lot of times thinness doesn't exactly give the best user experience, but it seems to be pretty nice in the hand as well, because we have just a 4.7 inch display on the front with on-screen buttons as well, so very similar to what we have on like the Nexus 4, for example. But around the back we have a nice brushed metal kind of coating, which is nice, and then around the sides you have these metal bands that let's face it, are very reminiscent of the iPhone 4 and 4S. They wrap around all the way the top and the sides, and then on the bottom you have this plastic bit that rolls around and kind of digs into your hand a little bit in the corner, but overall is pretty nice in the hand. On the right side here we have a pair of trays for the SIM card and micro SD card slot, and a volume rocker up and down in the single button that's actually pretty close to flush with the edge of the device, and then a power button in your standard top right corner, a little break there, and micro USB secondary microphone. Left side is completely clean all the way down to the bottom, and then you have a primary microphone. At first you might think that this is like a camera button or something, but it's kind of interesting. If you notice, we never had a headphone jack. There's a little stopper here that you pull out with your fingernails to reveal the headphone jack. Now the stopper is kind of weird. It doesn't seem like something that you'd really want, but it actually doubles as a SIM tray ejection tool, so you can pop it in there and eject your SIM and SD cards. It's kind of weird, but it's kind of interesting as well. If you don't plan on having your headphones in for a while, you can just pop it in there, and then you also have a SIM tray ejection tool if you're like us and swapping SIMs all the time. That's kind of cool. Around the back you have just a single Huawei logo, your appropriate FCC information, and a speaker, and an 8 megapixel camera with a flash. We're just powering up this phone really for the first time, so we haven't had a chance to look at that quite yet. On the software side, again, just a really quick look. Huawei is doing its own thing here with the software, where you have no actual tray or app tray, app drawer. Everything gets put onto the main launcher. This is Android 4.2.2 when it comes down to it, with a light white skinning that they've done here. It doesn't seem too terrible. Most things are in the same spot. They kind of have an all and then a general tab with the most used things, you know, getting at your Wi-Fi and your wallpaper and notifications and things like that. As far as navigation goes, we have the standard Android soft keys, you know, or your multitasking, then your regular home and back button. Let's stay on Huawei's home there. And so everything is kind of has the Huawei flair to it, as far as the change status bar and you know, some of its own widgets and things like that, but everything seems to act about normal. We definitely have a lot more testing to do on this, and of course a full review as well, but we just wanted to give you a first hands-on look here in the comfort of our own home rather than just at the event. And you can color us impressed in the hardware front so far. The software, it'll take some more time to figure out. So that is your Huawei Ascend P6 first look.